What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Bryce Talk Show. The Bryce Talk Show is back. First episode of the year. So we're going to be talking a lot about stuff here again. Today we're going to be talking about the trip to Florida. I'm back, and yes, I hate it. Depressed. But we're going to be talking about that, and it's going to be another wonderful episode. We're going to be talking about that, and the fact that Oracle bought TikTok, and the abrupt firing of Matt Devitt, because I just found this out before I left. So anyway, let's talk about when we first started leaving. We left on January 23rd, and we were going to go on Tuesday, which was the 27th. We were going to go on Tuesday, but then this crazy 2,000-mile winter storm, which they call Fern, but when we started naming winter storms, I got no clue. This huge 2,000-mile storm was coming and hitting all over the place, and then delivering cold blasts, and it was crazy. Well, Grandma had the idea, yeah, we'll just go Friday, which would be good, because not only that, we'd be avoiding the bullshit with the snow and how crazy. I mean, you couldn't fly it. Now, I mean, you hear about the whole airline meltdown. There's so many flights canceled. A lot of airlines are waiving fees. So we get over there. We decided to do it on the 23rd. So we head out. It's about 1:45 or 2 o'clock, and we take off. And we get down there, and it was like 4 o'clock. Well, fly to Fort Myers, drive to Naples, where Grandma has her house. It was kind of exhausting, really. I mean, we didn't do a damn thing when we left, literally. We literally didn't do anything. But we were there for, I bet you, a good 11, 12 days, and it's been 2 days since we've been back, because today is Thursday. At the time I'm recording this, we pretty much didn't do anything. Like, I was in the Lanai, sitting out there, but we were pretty much out of it. And I'm usually the guy that stays up all night. Well, still go to bed, but and that's why there was no vlog, even though I was shooting like I was going to vlog. But then that time came, we came back, and we didn't really do much. And so I'm like, yeah, we're not gonna vlog today. So that's why I did a total of 11 vlogs, which is the most I've done on a trip. 11 videos, 11 vlogs. It was quite interesting. Really 12 days if you count, from a half a week from 23rd, and then we left on Tuesday. But anyway, so the next day we were just chilling. We got a nice view. Grandma got a nice picture of the view. Sat out in the patio, went and got more groceries at the Publix there. Yes, Publix. And the good thing about our neighborhood, Winding Cypress, is there is a lot of the stuff is close there. There's so many stores close there that you want, that you need. We basically got all the stuff we wanted for dinners, lunches, and just anything. And I think we went to Walmart, but and I'm the one that made all the vlogs. Yeah, and then I just went to the patio to chill and went in the pool, which was pretty cool. And of course, record radio, because I brought the Kudosin DX286 with me. Perfect handheld radio, especially for DXing, but also for listening. Of course, it died on Friday, Saturday. And so that was crazy. So, I was playing like Wink FM and Fly 98.5, among others. And yeah, so we were just in the pool after that. Well, I did record radio after that. Got the vlogs ready. And we also went to the Shady Palm, the cafe, the bar/cafe, whatever you call it. And they had steel drums playing. And it's a great place too if you're around the area. Shady Palm, you got the swimming pool there. You got a hot tub there. The bar, the cafe, really opens on Wednesdays throughout the weekend and closes Monday and Tuesday. They got weird schedules, which I think they ought to change, especially when it comes to spring break, because that's when you make the most money. Because even in spring, like in March, they still have that same schedule. Like, you think they ought to change that. Regardless, usually they might have sometimes they might have steel drums played. Sometimes they'll have some people singing. And then I went just to feel the water with my shoes, and it was actually really good. Didn't get in, but I did the next day, and they were really it was kind of cool because I had little Crocs, and they were all slushy when I was walking back. But speaking of which, the next day we head to the pool in that club, and think it's pretty cool. I was in there, and swimming and talking to people. I met these two girls that were actually college kids from Rhode Island. Actually, Grandma was talking to them the most. Now, normally I would meet them and talk, but she was, and besides, one of them was with their girlfriend, and apparently their grandfather died, and so they came to have their celebration of life with him, which I thought was pretty cool. And which was really neat. And they were going back, I believe, the next day or two. They went back, and then when I asked where they're from, like, have you heard our accent? He's like, we're from Rhode Island. I'm like, no, not really. I never really. No, a lot of people have accents unless you're like black. Not any offense. I'm just saying. Or if you're from the South, you're in the countryside. You're from, So, do that a little bit. Come back. Record more radio. Listen to radio, and get my laptop. Now, it's pretty good, and then but I gotta tell you, Florida did have some cold snaps, especially during the weekend. But Sunday it was like 75, 74, which was good. So I was just in the patio. Shopped at the Ross and Beals, or as Grandma calls it, Bells, but because they're really close to the house. But there's other places that have Bells too. So yeah, did more of that. We shopped quite a bit this week too, because Florida has so much great shit, and I'm not just talking about the weather, but I'll talk a little bit about more of that in the end. Don't you worry. I had our dinner, shopped. Monday was chill. A lot of days were chills, although we did run out a lot. Had lots of days. We had lots of days that we took walks too. We took walks, and it was either Tuesday or Wednesday, but we took walks. So it was pretty cool. And before the cold snap really happened, where it got really cold to we had 50s and 40s and 30s in the morning, and then 50s in the afternoons. But there were some days where it was 75, or not 75, but 72, 71, and it was breezy. Or I should say not breezy, and so I would go to the clubhouse because the Shady Pond Cafe pool was warmer. So I would go in there instead of ours because it would be cold in the morning, and how the pool is, but they kept theirs running, so it was pretty good. And if it wasn't that breezy, it wasn't bad. But I also was in a hot tub. In fact, one of these days that I went in there, I can't even tell you all the damn days because I was there so long, even though I vlogged all this shit. I met this dude. He was from Michigan. He had his three kids from age 5, 11, and 13 years old. They were from Michigan, and then I said, yeah, I'm from Ohio, yay. And then he said, yeah, I'm from Michigan. And I said, boo. Well, actually, he said, where are you from? And I said, OH. And then he knew instantly what I was talking about. Because all you gotta say is that, and they know. Oh, yeah, I know where he lives. Yeah. But the next day I went to the clubhouse, too, just to swim. But he wasn't there. But he was actually staying for a week. And on the weekend, I think it was on Friday, the day it was before it really cooled down. Either it was Friday or Saturday. We were going, and it's on the vlog, too. We were going to the Coastland Mall, go to like H&M, all these other stores which you saw. There's this place called FYE Entertainment, so they have a lot of old stuff. Like they had like DVDs, and they had CDs, they had all that stuff, and they also had like stuffed animals too. I found like teddy bears and stuff like that. But they had Scooby-Doo, they had CDs like Beatles, all the old shit, 70s and 80s. And, maybe the 2000s. But there was the CD with Eminem, released in 1999 with songs like My Name is Jiggy Jiggy Slim Shady, and all these other fucking hits from that album. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm buying this shit. It was like $21, it was actually $20, but $21 with tax. So I'm like, yeah, I'm buying this shit. And we asked the dude, he's like, yeah, is this brand new? Is this old or is this new? He's like, yeah, it's brand new. And then, we done all these other stores, Hollister. I didn't get too much of that on the vlog. I didn't want to vlog everything, but I definitely vlogged H&M, the shoe place. She wanted to check out shoes. And I looked at shoes too. But definitely FYE because they had so much shit in that store. I also had a Twin Peaks run because the Twin Peaks is right there in Naples. Had, quesadillas, and we met this other girl named Tate. She was named Tatum. She was in there, we were talking. And speaking of going there, we also I was hitting Hooters too. I think it was on Wednesday, but we were going to Hooters, and I think it was Wednesday because it was going to rain, and I was going to sit out in the patio, and it was damp. It was cool. It was like in the 60s, and it was damp, and I was like, I'm not going to do that. And then we just went inside, and we see this. I was talking to I think she must have been new because either she was training or something, but her name was Bridget. And she looked busy, and it was quite busy there too. We didn't talk too much, but we got a pic of us together, and then we go to the gift shop. I didn't buy too much anything, except there was a football with Hooters on it. I'm like, oh shit, now if I buy this, I'll probably use it in the pool. Well, not this coming week because it's about to get cold. Although I don't bitch because this place sucks major dick than what it does there. So I got the football because I'm gonna have so many freaking like Hooters shirts and like stuff like that. But I just wanted to see what other stuff, because they always have something. Even though they didn't have a lot this time, but they always usually have stuff. So I'm usually like, I want to check this out. But yeah, for the weekend, it was Friday or Saturday when I was at the did shopping at the H&M and all that stuff. It was very very good because they had so much stuff there. Actually, I think that was Friday. Yeah, so Friday I did all that. Went and did all that stuff. Another moment where we shopped was Saturday because we hit the place, the Flamingo Flea Market. It's in Bonita Springs. They have this place, and they got so many vendors. Although most of them was closed because it was cold. I guess nobody wanted to really show up. I guess. But it was like in the 50s, 60s. But the mornings though, like some places were in the 20s, 30s. Even maybe in the teens, depending on how north you are, or south, depending. But still, I mean, it was crazy for Florida. In fact, by listening to this stuff on the TV and checking things out, the last cold snap like this, they say, was 16 years ago. That's 2010. And that's crazy. And then I think they said 1979 too, but 2010 was their year in Florida that was cold like that. But yeah, we did a lot of shopping, and we shopped at the Marco Island. I was going to Marco Island, but I wasn't going to the beach because it was like 52, 51, 50 degree, stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, I ain't going no beach. But I might check out the people on the boat and the water. And that wind, I'm telling you, bro, that wind was blowing. That wind was blowing as crazy as could be. I mean, you couldn't talk about one time that wind wasn't blowing. Like that wind was blowing when you're at the water. But yeah, we looked at that, and another store called Butterfly Beach, which had different things. You got like their sweaters and different kind of stuff. Like there was stuff there. We was gonna look at the beach just to see how many people were there, just check it out. We weren't going in there to actually get in there, but we feel like you gotta pay for parking. It's more hard to do, and you also have to do a little walkway along to the beach. I'm like, I'm not gonna walk all the way there and then walk back if I'm not gonna actually like go. It's waste of time. It ain't really, But I was gonna just see how dead it looked. So yeah, we didn't end up doing that because it was a waste of time. But the flea market was pretty good, and then I had Texas Roadhouse. But the Marco Island, we didn't end up doing that, to the beach on Sunday because it was crazy. And our last day, I just took a walk. Like, it was like, again, in the 50s. And of course, when I leave on Tuesday, it was like 68, 67. And that day was shitty. And you know me, I hate being here, damn it. And, but I was still vlogging it. Still doing all this stuff. So, got home, felt like shit. Didn't do shit at all. And, yeah. But yeah, it was definitely really good. We had days in the 80s, like, for example, Friday and Saturday. Those were the days in the 80s. 70s, 60s, 50s. But anyway, yeah, I don't want to be here anymore, really. I mean, fuck. If you don't like that, then just skip on. But, I really, And it's more than weather too. You know, I hate the damn. You got the environment. You got the things not cool as cool. I got people I'm around too, that family that are cuckoo, that I really don't want to be with, and more. And it's just just bored to the ring. I mean, there's some things, but definitely not. Yeah. Screw the northern lifestyle. I don't know. Just hate it. Maybe I'm just, attached, but I don't care. I really don't. And, it's cold as fuck, just boring. And you see, I've been going down to Florida like 16 years. I started going back in Jacksonville when I was 9, and even though it was in the summer, and then I went again when I was 10 years old. And then and then when I came back, I said, fuck that place, mommy. No, I actually didn't, but I only said that as a joke. But some of y'all people don't get that. Hell, I even performed in Raymond James Stadium, which was dope. I was a part of the school. Yes, I was in the Host State School for the Blind marching band, and we went down and played, and it was dope, and lots of people there to watch, and not to mention all the beaches and all the shit I've done, and I've got all these shells too now. And speaking of Raymond James, there's coming a festival, an EDM festival. It's called Breakaway. It's going to be happening, get this, the day after my birthday. So it's going to be on April 18th in Raymond James. There's going to be a pretty big lineup, including Tiesto, but Dom Lala, and a couple other people. And then they're also doing Breakaway in Ohio in the 29th. Which is at SoFi Stadium. Why would you want to host it in SoFi Stadium? What a friggin'... But anyway. So... And I also would be dope as fuck to go to Miami, because they're having Ultra Music Festival 26 is coming the 27th, 29th of March. And the lineups are always huge on that one. All the great crazy stuff is going to be dope. I was actually listening to it last year on the website, listening to it live as it was happening. Last year's lineup was dope because you had every lineup possible. You had Hardwell, you had Skrillex came back, you had Tiesto, you had there were so many people, but that I'm probably forgetting. But you had people were playing. There was headliners that did tech house, headliners did trance, some people did tech house, people did hard style, maybe dubstep, but pretty big thing. So, but yeah, I guess it'd be good to go to the one here in Ohio, but bro, to fly down and watch that on Friday, hell, or even Miami would be dope, because I haven't been there since when I was on a cruise, which was dope too, by the way, because it was my birthday cruise and I turned 18 and I was on there. But anyway, I know I rambled on long enough, so excuse my rant on this hometown. Yeah, don't even get me started on my parents either. I'll just get off of it before I go on such a long rant that it becomes a 2-hour show on why I don't prefer to be here. But that can wait. Also, we want to talk that Oracle bought TikTok. Yeah, on Friday, the time that I left for Florida, actually the news broke that Oracle had a deal to buy TikTok in the U.S. and now it's by a different entity, Oracle, which this will end the 6-year battle that everybody was trying to ban it. And it all started with Trump in 2020 trying to ban TikTok. And then people tried to ban it in 2023 and 2024 and even 2025 went offline for like a day. So this is huge that, you know, at least for everyone that uses it, that they're actually buying TikTok. Oh yeah, and speaking about being here, the only thing I'd be excited is the air show's coming back and the Thunderbirds are going to be there, and I think they're going to do a celebration for America's 250th birthday, which is going to be dope. I think they're going to do some more stuff that they haven't done. And of course, every fall festivities and the Buckeyes and all that shit. Other than that, no. So now, I want to get to this topic of Matt Devitt because there was a story that I was following, that he was abruptly let go of Wink News. Because he's been there for over a decade, so Wink News let him go, and he never agreed with this decision. It was something that, was unexpected, according to his post on Facebook and on X, formerly known as Twitter, and, and lots of circulations from other people, coming around, like maybe he missed it for family gathering or something else. Either way, he was abruptly let go from Wink News, and thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people who live there in the southwest side of Florida commenting, well, we're not watching Wink News anymore. We're not watching that shit anymore, and the leadership that's gone, we're not watching that. And many people saying, yeah, we're going to boycott it, even though most likely it won't do anything. And according to Matt, he said, yeah, I'll still post weather pictures and stuff. Well, apparently Meta deleted his account. Either that or he did. It's probably his employer. But a lot of people like us saying that he should do that independently. There's a lot of independent people who do that on the internet, and their community would follow him wherever he goes. Like, because he's pretty. I've heard lots of stories from, or just reading the comments, about his personality. I know he's had some pretty cool stuff shared on the internet lately. Before then, and lots of people saying they help with certain things like Hurricane E, and everybody stood up to him, and they liked him during that time. Everybody shared their story, but it was just crazy. Like, bro, at the beginning of the year, and they're like, yeah, we don't want this guy, even though thousands upon thousands of who knows how many people is like, yeah, we actually like this dude. But that just goes to show you that, yeah, they can spit you out, and this is why you got to go independent, doing weather shit on YouTube. I think about people like Max Velocity or Ryan Hall, which, covers the whole country. But yeah, he's got this whole thing on YouTube he's doing for a long time. But yeah, it's pretty huge, at least for him, because he's probably used to being working in the studio doing weather for the place that he's been doing it for, and everybody's been watching him down there. So I'm sure it's been a hell of a ride for him. I want to know your thoughts on this. Have you heard of this story? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, because I came across it on Facebook during the weekend, one of the first or second week of the year, and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. And reading multiple posts about after he posted, then so many people came to Facebook and other things. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Anyway, screw being here. If any time I was homesick, it's being here, bro. Because this place blows. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for the Bryce Talk Show. Thanks for those that watch the vlogs. And also, I'm working on the slideshow of all the pictures I've done. It'll probably be up before this episode goes up. Because that's how it works, usually. And I hope you enjoy. Please subscribe, share, like, comment. Now, I finally get to say that because, it's a long story. Thanks for listening, watching, all the wonderful stuff, and I will chat at y'all another time. Peace out.